Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Energy Speaks Back, powered by B2B Energy. My name is Paul Webb, and I'm the founder of B2B Energy, and I'm your host. Weekly, I present to you energy experts from around the world. Welcome to episode 148. Our purpose, as always, is to provide a good understanding of energy management knowledge from around the world, which is available today for us to deliver savings that impact on our planet. Welcome, energy enthusiasts, to another enlightening episode of Energy Speaks Back. Today's guest is an energy expert in Africa, and he's leading the way with his voice around the world. So without any further ado, let's dive into the conversation with Adeniji Michael. Good afternoon, Michael. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Very well. How are you?
Very good. I like the color of your shirt. You match my brand, very orange.
Actually, we over here in Nigeria, we call it a native dress.
All right.
So, yeah, it's not the general English dress like we have outside there. It is a local made production dress that our tailors over here in Nigeria which made for you.
Right.
So,
And is orange a particular color that you lean to?
no, we have different colors, we have different products, we have different materials.
Right.
It's just the Africa culture wear. We call it a traditional wear.
Right.
So over here, especially in the southwest part of Nigeria, we have more of this because it's like an identity for us. So whenever we put on this, they know that okay, this person is a Yoruba guy. It's just like a cultural wear.
Right. Well, thank you for wearing your traditional dress today, and thank you for making it orange because it blends in very nicely with my
Thank
brand. So
you.
thank you very much. So Michael,
Yeah.
it's really great to see you. We last week we were both panelists on a presentation and a webinar, which was very successful. And you heard me speak, and I obviously heard you speak very passionately about um, renewables in Africa. So I was really keen to hear about that today. So to start the call, I wonder if you can give us sort of for the benefit of our audience today, your background story, how you come into this industry, and your origin story.
Okay, thank you for the question. Thank you very much. Yeah, let me start by introduction. My name is Adeniji Michael. Yeah, Adeniji is the surname, popularly called surname. I have a background study of electrical electronics engineering.
Hmm.
I have my national diploma, higher national diploma, and bachelor of engineering in electrical electronics. Yeah, my national diploma I finished 2010 while my higher national diploma 20 no my national diploma was 2012. I graduated 2012 in electrical electronics as national diploma. Higher national diploma I graduated 2016, while my BSc I graduated 2021. Yeah, before I obtained my bachelor degree, I already got my appointment at Energy Commission of Nigeria. Yeah, Energy Commission of Nigeria is a government agency.
Hmm.
It's a federal government agency. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you very well.
Okay. So now, getting my appointment at Energy Commission of Nigeria gave me the privilege, opportunity, and the mandate. Just put me out there as a federal government staff, a civil servant or a public servant to know more about energy. So after we were being recruited in 2019, we were like 220 youths recruited by Nigeria government through
Right.
Energy Commission of Nigeria.
Hmm.
Now, let me start by informing you about by giving out details about Energy Commission of Nigeria. Energy Commission of Nigeria is the apex government organization that carry out overall energy sector planning and policy implementation, promote the diversification of energy resources in the country.
Right.
So I was employed as a senior technical officer, and that after my employment, I was posted to one of its branch, one of Energy Commission of Nigeria branch, named National Center for Energy Efficiency and Conservation.
Hmm.
So after that, that brought me to energy field, like policy making, learning different type of renewable technologies, implementing projects, federal government of Nigeria project through the commission, bringing new energy technologies, and also working with the Standard Organization of Nigeria as the representative of the commission to set standard, both local standard, national standard, and international standard
Yeah.
for the country. So that was how I found myself in energy. So after my appointment, I started my bachelor. Okay, during my appointment, I've already started my bachelor degree. And from there, I start different courses on energy. So that broadened my idea, that broadened my view about energy, that brought me more into the system. So from there, I represent Nigeria last year, yeah, 2023, at International Energy Agency workshop and
Right.
policy making in Paris, France.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from there, that start giving me different method, different idea about renewable energy, energy efficiency, energy management until today. And I am proudly to say at National Center for Energy Efficiency, the first made in Nigeria LED energy efficiency bulb was done here. We have start production of 5, 10, and 3 watts, and we have thousands of production already.
Right.
So that is where my energy journey started from there. I just started having more experience and knowledge about
Hmm.
energy that now I can easily call myself an energy expert at national level and hoping that one day I will be one of the best energy experts in the world
Yeah.
and well recognized energy expert globally.
Growing up, did you have any experiences of sustainability and the likelihood of the need for renewables when you was growing up?
Actually, growing up, I did not have no idea. But I was only, what really helped me is because of my educational background. I
Right.
have been, I have been passionate about electrical. Though the electrical I was extremely passionate of, I never saw myself going through the energy sector
Hmm.
until I got the appointment. But when growing up, no, in Nigeria, let me just say in Africa at large, energy, we are just adjusting to the energy space. We
Right.
are not at the level of the European yet. I can easily say 80% of our energy production has been on solar.
Right.
So it's not as if we have developed more advocacy on energy. It's just now when the country start having electricity challenges, maybe the high cost of electricity in the country, that's when Africa is now drifting to renewables energy,
Hmm.
industry now drifting to renewable energy because from inception, we already have a subsidized electricity fee. So that alone, I think government is making like 70% subsidization for individual and the energy consumption.
Yeah.
But when government decided that no, we can't continue with this paying this subsidy anymore. People need industry, factories, organization needs to start looking at other source of electricity.
Yeah.
So that's why Africa is now evolving around energy and Nigeria in particular. And,
Yeah.
like we say, Nigeria is a giant of Africa, the most populous country, the largest country. We have the biggest economy in the world. So in the Africa, sorry. We have the biggest economy in Africa. So now people have no choice. So from there, but from my background, I did not have much knowledge aside from the educational background I have during my
Yeah.
undergraduate studies.
Yeah. Interestingly, my background when I was studying, probably at your age as such, I studied electrical and electronics. So that's my background. That's where I started many, many years ago. And then I evolved into sort of nuclear power. So that's where I started originally. My mindset regarding energy management per se was in that route. You mentioned LEDs. So the approach the government are making isn't just about renewables, it's about energy technologies as well, yeah?
Yes.
So you diversify into loads of different technologies. Is the government looking at things like energy management and managing through people and people behavior patterns? Is
Yes.
that on their radar?
Yes, there is as a staff of National Center for Energy Efficiency and Conservation, one of our mandates is also on energy management, energy efficiency, and conservation. So we make a lot of advocacy on energy management. And
Hmm.
I can tell you over here in Nigeria, most of the energy audit experts you have in Nigeria is from my office.
Yeah,
You have a lot of certified energy management, certified energy auditors,
yeah, yeah,
personnel here in the organization.
yeah,
So even as part of our mandate is for us to make an advocacy on energy management.
yeah,
Somebody like me, I build my capacity on energy management, energy audit conservation, and energy management.
yeah,
So there is a lot of advocacy, government keep sponsoring a lot of activities to preach about energy management, how to reduce energy consumption, how to be energy efficient. So, and after the subsidy removal, people, the individual organization in the country have no choice than to start looking at energy management policy.
yeah, yeah,
How can we manage our energy? How can we reduce cost? How can we be cost efficient? How can we be energy efficient? Because they will not be able to afford the energy bill. And if you are into business, you
yeah,
will also consider your utility bills. And when we mean utilities bills, energy bills take most of this. So we make a lot of advocacy. Government make a lot of advocacy through Energy Commission of Nigeria on energy management.
mm. So what the government seen as the drivers for this process? Is it the environment or is it cost or resource?
Actually, government, one of the challenges we have most is not even the environment, is the cost.
Right.
Because over here in Nigeria, we have more of SMSE business people. We have more small, medium enterprise over here.
Yeah, yeah,
So they know that if they are not talking more about cost, the cost of energy can make a lot of business people lose their businesses. They
yeah,
may not be able to meet up with the energy demand. So
yeah,
we focus more on how to reduce the cost of energy.
yeah,
But now when we start having more of renewables energy, environment does not play big role because it's a clean energy. So it's
yeah,
not as if it has any environmental hazard. So we will now focus more on how you can reduce the cost, how efficient you can use your energy. So we focus more on the cost more than energy, as far as energy commission is concerned. But under the federal government, we have others, government agency, we have Ministry of Environment. So they too they play their own part. But I can only talk more about Energy Commission of Nigeria as a representative of federal government of Nigeria.
yeah. Is on that basis, is energy very expensive in Nigeria?
What do you say?
Is Nigerian energy very expensive for the end user?
Yes, energy is extremely expensive in Nigeria. That like is I think people start The Nigerians start taking note of energy efficiency appliances, let me say 2 to 3 or 5 years ago. And this started when government removed the subsidy on electricity.
Right.
So far back 5 years ago, we have a lot of appliances that are not energy efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So that even make energy tariff extremely expensive. But even up to today, people really needs to apply more energy efficient measures to to be able to afford basic electricity fee. And we do not have more investors to invest more in renewable energy. Assuming we have more investors or more international investors that invest more in renewable energy, it would have been very easy for the people. But over here, energy is extremely expensive. In fact, international businesses are now collapsing majorly because of the cost of energy in the country.
Yeah.
Because it's getting extremely difficult for them to adjust to the new reality of energy consumption, energy price, because most of them have heavy machines. Even I can remember far back 2022, when my organization run the energy audit of the University of Lagos as a case study. Far back 2022, University of Lagos are spending more than 180 million naira on their energy fee per month.
Mm.
So that is really on high side, because most of the appliances, you look at their AC, air conditioning, look at their workshops, most of the workshop appliances, most of the air conditioning, even the lighting, most of them are not energy efficient. They were not paying attention to this because they were on subsidized electricity before. But since they are not more on subsidized electricity, they need to start thinking about energy efficient technologies.
Yeah.
And purchasing energy efficient technologies comes with a huge sum, it's like an investment. It comes with a huge sum of amount that it takes only the rich ones or the international organization to afford. So whenever the international organization look at the cost of getting new energy efficient appliances, the cost of energy, most of them prefer to just leave the country and maybe go to a nearby West African countries. It is so over here in Nigeria, the cost of energy is extremely high. But as a government personnel, a public officer, as a organization, we are really trying all our possible best, bringing in new renewable energy projects, implementing different renewable energy projects to ease the society, to ease the community. But Nigeria is a large country with more than 200 million population. So it's not going to be is a project for decades,
Yeah.
not even a project for some time. So over here, let me just say it's extremely expensive. And maybe in Nigeria, we need more of, though most of our energy experts is leaving the country because they believe they are not well appreciated, they are not well paid compared to their peers in the Western world or in Americans, in Europe, etc. So most of them prefer going to, because they believe that they even have more experience, more practical experience, more capacity than their friend
Yeah.
peers over there.
It's interesting your energy is so high when you've got significant amounts of oil around the country, haven't you? Off the coast and some of the mainland, you generate significant amounts of oil. I don't know, that's been exploited, unfortunately,
Yes,
hasn't it?
we generate a lot. Nigeria is an oil producing country,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we are the number one oil producing country in Africa,
Yeah, yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
right. But let me just say our agreement with the Western world based on oil. In Nigeria, we just have the first private oil refinery. built by Dangote. It has not even started working as of today. But whenever we need to take our oil to the Western world to be refined. So during that process, bringing it back after being refined cost more. Like as of today now, we are spending around 700 naira per liter
Right.
on our petroleum alone, on
Yeah.
petrol alone. We are spending 700 naira per liter. So even being people, individuals, industry using fuel, refined oil as another source of energy got more expensive
Mm.
because by the time they will bring the refined oil back from the West, in fact, I can just call it exploitation. But as a government official, there is little details I cannot go too extremely deep into that because of maybe job security or whatsoever. But
Yeah.
to me, even with the fact that we are all producing of country, the country, the people, they did not feel that they did not feel the oil producing impact
Yeah.
like other countries like Dubai, Russia, etc. But over here, we even buy the oil at the high side. It's not as if we get it cheap here. It's
Yeah.
extremely expensive. So even industry, we prefer to invest more in renewables, fossil fuel.
Yeah. Yeah. When we look at the organizations, have they got the appetite to drive this energy down because of the cost is so high, or are they just rolling with what the government is directing them?
Actually, my organization is the face of the government when it comes to
Now, the
energy.
actual, not your organization, the organizations out there, the manufacturers, the businesses out there, do they worry, or are they concerned about energy prices? Are they making a difference as well, or do they just do what they need to
Actually,
do?
energy prices has been one of the biggest challenges they are.
Right.
When it comes to the biggest challenges, energy prices is one of the biggest challenge. In fact, like last 2 weeks, I need to do some research on effects on energy. So I mapped out some effect of price of energy on SMSs, on small medium enterprises.
Yeah.
So I need to have a interview, research work with some of my colleagues. We map
And
out some.
I know we've got cost as being the issue, but is the
Yeah,
environment a driver? Do they consider the climate change and carbon emissions? Is there a focus on that as well as?
yes, Nigeria is one of the drivers of when it comes to Africa, we are one of the drivers of the climate change. In the last COP 24, if I'm right, you have the second highest population of attendees in the world.
Right.
So when
Yeah.
it comes to climate change, we really pay more attention because we believe that the rest of Africa is looking up to us.
Yeah. Yeah. You're leading it.
So we lead and they follow. We believe that anything we do, they see it as anything we do and we do where they see it as a good yardstick to follow.
Yeah.
So we pay more attention on climate change. And Africa, we hardly have climate challenges.
Mm.
When it comes to climate, we are very blessed in Africa.
Yeah. Can we focus on the future? What does the future hold for your country regarding energy management and renewables? Can you see the
Uh,
future? Where you're heading towards?
yes, when it comes to the future, I see a better future for Africans when it comes to renewables because the grid electricity is extremely expensive.
Yeah.
And Africa is blessed with sun. Even during the winter, we still have more sunlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when it comes to the one of Africa's biggest challenges that I hope we'll be able to solve in the nearest future is maybe production of renewable energy technologies in the continent, maybe like the likes of solar panel, because most of these technologies are being imported from either China, Japan, etc. We are
Yeah.
yet to have that capacity to develop our homemade technologies. So I believe when we have more investors, more advocacy, we have more people investing in renewables energy in Africa.
Mm.
Africa vision in renewable is very, very, very high because we have a good climate to promote renewable, to support renewables. So when it comes to the future of Africa and renewables, I believe the only challenges we keep having over here is funds. People really need funds. Renewable energy need huge investment.
Yeah. We
We are
talked
hoping that
on the presentation, the webinar we did, we talked about the structure, the infrastructure, and how is the Nigerian infrastructure? Can it handle this renewable growth, or is there investment that's got to be placed on the infrastructure as well?
yeah, actually there is still on the infrastructure, there is still going to we still need more, we still need investment, but we have a good infrastructure for renewable energies.
Hmm.
But I cannot say it's a perfect infrastructure.
Yeah,
So little investment might still need to be made for infrastructure and renewable. But when it comes to aside infrastructure, we have everything. We have everything needed for the development of renewable energies.
right. And what about your future? Where do you see your future?
My personal, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, like I said earlier, my ultimate dream is to be an international energy expert. So when it comes to personal ambition, personal drive, I still see myself working at the international level, promoting renewables in Africa, promoting good renewable energy policy and standard.
mm,
But the ultimate dream is to be an international energy expert.
that's good.
Though I will love to have an international experience
Yeah,
because there is still more to learn. You know, over here in Africa, we are only covering more of solar energy over
yeah,
here in Africa. We are yet to get to the wind, biomass, etc. So, as an energy expert at national level, I still have this ambition at going globally, learning more on other renewable technologies
yeah,
that maybe that will give me more drive, more experience to put the drive in Africa and especially into Nigeria.
yeah. Well, we'd be happy to welcome you into our network group and talk with us on a. We meet every 6 weeks as a group, all the energy experts around the world. You're more than happy to come into that group and share your knowledge with us. Um, we meet, as I say, every 6 weeks, so we love to invite you along and hear your um, insights in what's happening to Nigeria, because it helps everyone, because we can help you, you can help us understand, because we all speak different languages, but we all speak the same language of reducing energy consumption. So Michael, it's come to that time. Can't believe again how quick today's interviews have gone. Um, where I can put you on your spot and for you to see if there's anything you can give back to our industry today as a takeaway. So, is there anything that you can think of as an insight that you could share with the other energy experts around the world today?
Actually, what I can share more about to the energy experts around the world is we should try to improve more on energy efficient technologies. We should make more advocacy on energy efficiency, and maybe we should have more of a fair energy policy on and energy efficiency. And another thing I will look at is we should look more like someone like me now. I will advise or bring it to them that we should look more of the poor environment, like a case study of my community now. I know that they have energy challenges. So I need to go through the support of some top politicians, and use my influence to bring in at least a renewable energy system so that they can have access to clean water.
Mm.
So what I'm trying to say is that, okay, we should not look at industries. We should not look at organization alone. We should look at experts who are looking towards the poor, the less privileged, and who are ready to sacrifice their all. Like somebody like me, I derive more joy in doing that.
Mm.
So I will say that we should look at people with that kind of art, that kind of passion
Yeah.
on bringing energy, especially renewables to the local communities, the poor nations. We have a lot, especially in Africa, we have a lot of for local environment. We go to Malawi, we mentioned Ethiopia, different countries, even Benin Republic, that need more. Okay, like for example, last week I was reading about a community in Nigeria, Ogun State precisely, that they need to travel to Benin Republic in nearby West Africa country to access clean water. A whole community do not have clean water.
Mm.
So what I will just advocate more for energy expert like I do is that we should look more of for we should also consider the poor environment, poor communities,
Yeah.
and support and improve their livelihood.
I 100% believe in that. So all the energy experts around the world need to come together, and we need to move forward together, and don't leave no one behind. The poor, the rich need to go. Energy shouldn't be just for rich people. It should be for everyone, you know.
Yes.
And that's really what you're saying there. We need to make sure that we don't leave no one behind here,
Mhm.
and by providing solar to places like in Nigeria where they need it the most, the sun's there, we can make a massive impact. And what we don't want to be doing is utilizing and burning carbon emissions in the wrong areas. And because, for instance, if we burn all the emit loads of carbon emissions, it's not our garden that's going to be affected. It could be the gardens of Africa or Asia or so on. So we're all in this together. It's our planet. And that's, I think, what you're saying there is don't leave no one
Yes,
behind. Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, Michael, I really appreciate your time today. And once again, I really enjoyed your presentation last week. It was very insightful. I can see your challenges there. And, please come back and tell us what's happening in the future. Keep in contact with us and maybe come to our networking group and talk more about Nigeria and what you're doing.
Okay, I will be looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time. And please, you and your family stay safe in these times.
All right, thank you, and you too.